But let's start with the developing news right now. We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy G in the game against, I believe it was Miami, he threw 4 passes. He broke his foot. And the report was that Jimmy G would be out for the entire year. It seemed like it would be a season-ending injury, and so that's why they kept what's named Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in this past year's draft. He was going to be the starter moving forward. The 49ers were in prime position to be very up. I think they're the 3 seed in the NFC right now, win the NFC West, and have a serious playoff push and hopefully go to the Super Bowl, because that defense is virtually unstoppable. And then it comes out, the report is Jimmy G won't need surgery on his foot. So that actually opens up a window for Jimmy G to come and play again this year. It would be sometime in the playoffs. But for the foreseeable future, it will be up to Brock Purdy to go and win games, or at least not lose the 49ers games. We saw Tua in this past game against the 49ers. I'm not going to say he got exposed here, but I mean, you lost to Mr. Irrelevant, the dead last pick in the draft last year. And you did not play well. You had a plethora of turnovers. Your offense couldn't get going. You overshot Jalen Waddle on a couple. You had a great throw to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. But for most of the game, you virtually got stopped by the 49ers defense. And the 49ers defense, I understand, is very, very good. But you're Tua. You've been throwing for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns a game. And except this time, you couldn't handle it. So I'm not worried about the Miami Dolphins. They're sort of on the brink of Super Bowl contention, maybe. They're definitely in playoff contention. They're obviously going to make it. I think they have like a 96% chance to make the playoffs. So I'm not worried about them when it comes to playoffs. Super Bowl is a little bit of a question mark. But this is seriously good news for Jimmy G and the 49ers, at least for this year. Kyle Shanahan can work with Brock Purdy because Kyle Shanahan's offense does not revolve around a QB to make all the plays. His offense has always been based around running the football, short yardage. All Kyle Shanahan really cares about is, are you accurate with throwing the football? And Jimmy G has completed about 68% of his passes. Not that many turnovers. He's having a great year this year. And the last thing Jimmy G needed was an injury. He was in prime position to actually get a contract with the 49ers because Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers just play better with him. I have the record, I think, still here between... It's in the other book I have here. I'm not going to go through it right now. But I think they're like, with this win, I believe they're like 11-30. 11-31 without Jimmy G, Kyle Shanahan is. And like they're 36-18 with Jimmy G. So, and it's a significant improvement with Jimmy G. So he was literally in prime position to get a contract extension. He's on a 1-year deal this year. Prime position to get a contract extension from 2023 potentially on. But it looks like now, when it comes to 2023 with Jimmy G, my guess would be they go with Kyle Shanahan and Trey Lance. Those two have been teamed up right now. This was Trey Lance's team before he got that injury, which sidelined him for the entire year. Jimmy G comes in, plays pretty well, goes out, beats the Rams for, I think, the 8th time in the regular season, which is unbelievable. He's undefeated when it comes to versing the Rams in the regular season, which is incredible. But the Rams this year are a little bit of a question mark, so it's not really that surprising. But Jimmy G probably will not be on the 49ers next year because the last thing, he was already injury prone. That was the huge thing coming from the 49ers, and that's why they moved up to draft Trey Lance. It wasn't because he's not this mobile guy who could rush for 80 yards a game, or he doesn't throw a 65, 75-yard bomb to Deebo Samuel or George Kittle for a touchdown. That's not why they went out and tried to get Trey Lance. They got him because Jimmy G just isn't reliable when it comes to his health. Jimmy G goes out and gets hurt every other season, plays maybe 7 games here, plays 4 games here, and in this chance, he only played, 8 games this year? He goes out, gets hurt, and then you leave it up to Brock Purdy to come in. He did throw 2 touchdowns, threw over 200 yards. So they realize, I think, that, so this team right now has a lot of talent. Let's move on to Trey Lance and hopefully grow him. So this will be Trey Lance's team next year. I have no doubt in my mind that that's the case. Jimmy G will get picked up because with the next topic we have here, Baker Mayfield just got picked up after being released by the Panthers today, which is ridiculous. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to go off on Baker Mayfield in the next topic, but Jimmy G will get picked up. I think there are several teams which Jimmy G will if Jimmy G gets released or traded or wherever he's going to go, because this is the last year of his contract. There are several teams which, if Jimmy G is on that team will improve, at least from the quarterback position. I like Taylor Heineke, but I would choose Jimmy G over him. There was a trade in place to actually move Jimmy G to the Commanders earlier in the offseason, which I actually predicted a while ago. It just fell through. Right now, Atlanta would be better with him. Carolina, even the Saints would be good with Jimmy G. The Seattle, that's a question mark because Geno Smith is having a phenomenal year this year. Arizona, no. Right now, the Rams, yeah, Jimmy G's better than Matt Stafford right now. Matt Stafford's hurt right now, but still, he's more accurate. At least he's more consistent than Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford this year and last year, I had it on the top 10 going into this year. Matthew Stafford was consistently inconsistent. Jimmy G is usually consistently consistent when it comes to throwing the football. The Jets would be better with him. Honestly, the Patriots would be better with Jimmy G. Baltimore's dealing with injuries, but Lamar is out of this world right now. Cleveland would be good with him. Pittsburgh, between him and Kenny Pick'em-off, I don't know. Tennessee, Jimmy G or Ryan Tannehill. I think Jimmy G is better than Ryan Tannehill. People say, he's below average. He's 16th, 17th best quarterback in the league. I have Jimmy G at around 13, 14. I have Ryan Tannehill barely above 20. So I'd say Tennessee would be better. Right now, the Colts, Jimmy G would be good on the Colts. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is really, really good with Doug Peterson, so I wouldn't even touch there. Houston, obviously. Houston has a mess of a quarterback situation. Denver, Russell Wilson's been terrible. The entire offense has been stagnant. You take a look at them. Their defense, any offense against that Rams team last week, think about it. They won 10-9. Any team with more than 4 brain cells on offense would have beaten that Ravens team handily. Thank God for the Denver defense. The Denver defense has done a phenomenal job all year, especially with the ability to not give up massive scores. They're the number 1 team in points allowed. The offense is just terrible. Russell Wilson. So I would take Jimmy G over Russell Wilson right now when it comes to the offense. The Giants. Daniel Jones has done great by dinking and dunking. It used to be Danny Dimes is his nickname. My nickname is Danny Dink and Dunk because that's all he does. And it's all the receivers getting downfield. He doesn't even take shots down the field. At least some quarterbacks that don't have a deep threat at least take the occasional shot down the field. Daniel Jones just does it, but that's not the offense. Brian Daboll has an offense that's molded around using the effectiveness of Daniel Jones when it comes to dinking and dunking. So that, Jimmy G, he's accurate. He's more accurate than Daniel Jones. He would be an upgrade. I honestly would compare. Dak Prescott has a slightly better arm and is more athletic, but that could be a serious comparison. Could Dallas be better with Jimmy G? Because Jimmy G is better than Cooper Rush, and Dallas was seeing a lot of great things from Cooper Rush and won a lot of games with Cooper Rush. So maybe Jimmy G fit in there. Jared Goff is better than Jared Goff. That offense is seriously explosive with Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams in the backfield. So maybe. Yeah, honestly, maybe. And then Kirk Cousins. Hey, as long as it's a 1 p.m. game for Kirk Cousins, he's better than Jimmy G. But right now, once again, we have maybe 2-3 comparisons to where Jimmy G would thrive. It's just the question mark of, is that position actually available? And a lot of these teams, the answer would probably be no. But I don't think San Francisco retains Jimmy G because he's still valuable. He's still valuable. He's incredibly accurate. He's not mobile, but he's smart. And that's what Kyle Shanahan's offense revolves around. So he doesn't need to be that guy to go and throw for, 400 yards and, 4 touchdowns. No interception. He could throw for 190, 250, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and you could win by 15 points. Because that's how good Jimmy G is when it comes to being accurate and smart with the football. He's had some problems here with turnovers, and especially in the playoffs, hasn't played great. That team went up to Lambeau Field in Aaron Rodgers' house, 13-3. Devontae Adams, the best receiver in the league. Aaron Rodgers, lights out back-to-back MVP. He beat him there. Really outperformed him. And Aaron Rodgers in cold weather, in freezing temperatures, his stats are incredible. He has 30 wins compared to 8 losses, which is insane. Jimmy G went up there and beat Aaron Rodgers, outperformed him. The first quarter, Rodgers and Devontae Adams, they put up 80 yards. They drove down the field. And then Jimmy G came in, dink and dunk, and occasional shot down the field. Deebo Samuel got the job done. So Jimmy G 2023 will not be a 49er. That's my prediction on that. Can the 49ers hold on long enough with that defense and Brock Purdy, just being what Kyle Shanahan needs, a little bit of a dink and dunk here, the occasional deep shot, get it to your playmakers. Yeah, I think they could hold on long enough for Jimmy G's return. The question is, can Jimmy G actually return healthy enough to maintain the potential momentum that the 49ers might have going into playoffs? That's the huge question mark. That's the risk you're taking with Jimmy G.